Hello, welcome to my next ration review live, and this will be a little different. And I'll say this throughout my broadcast that I will be looking towards my computer to read the chat because I got my phone mounted above my table, and that's what I do all my video shooting with. But I'll be looking at the screen at my computer to see the chat. But I got two rations here. I think I'll wait a little bit for maybe a couple more people to come in. I'll turn this one down and kind of leave it on my, I got my mug that I always drink my coffee and tea out of, but I'm going to leave my Canadian ration against that, so kind of see what that is. Sorry, it's my mouth kind of shakes a little bit, so again, I apologize for that. So what I have here, both from foreignmre.com, they put their stickers on everything that they sell. What I have here is a Canadian ration that I pulled out of the box when I got my rations that I ordered. They sent this as a freebie, but this Canadian ration was rated by U.S. Customs and the main was taken out. So there is no main in here. Everything else is there, but the main was taken out. But I can make up for that with the Spanish ration. This has two meats in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up both of these. Well, this one's already open, but I'll pull out the contents. But I will open the Spanish ration, and there is one item that I want to take out of there to put with this. And then I will be having this one tonight, and then I will review the rest of the Spanish ration another day. But anyway, so I'm going to put this one aside. Then I will pull out the contents of the Canadian IMP. This was supposed to be macaroni and beef. Its menu. This is the production year 2017. It doesn't have a menu number, but I'm not sure what menu it is, but it just says macaroni and beef. But there's no macaroni and beef. So anyway, what I have in here is two tortillas, and this will be perfect for what I will be pulling out of the Spanish ration. I have the beverage bag, which I will not use. If I was doing this out in the woods or something, then I would probably use it, but I would more likely have a cup. But this has a gusset at the bottom, so if I were to use it, I could stand it up once it's filled. I have the dessert, which is sliced pears. I have peanut butter. Sorry about the glare, the shiny packaging kind of messes that up. I have a Nescafe 3-in-1 coffee, original blend. I have two orange sports drinks. I will only be having one. The second will be saved. I have strawberry jam to go with the peanut butter. I have a full-size Snickers bar. Very interesting to find in a Canadian ration. I got one of their pop-up towels that they put in here instead of a moist towelette. And I will not do this, but there are plenty of videos on YouTube where you open it up, you put a few drops of water on it, and it will absorb the water and basically decompress, soak up all the water, and expand into a larger size wet wipe. And instead of gum this time, they put a little packet of Tic Tacs. These are the fresh mint flavor. Frank's Red Hot. And I dropped the matches as I was pulling the Frank's Red Hot. So white matches with pink tip. And the last thing I pull out is their new Spork, which is as long as their original white spoon, but it is the same material, look and feel as a US MRE spoon. But, and then this napkin, which is basically a huge, it's a paper towel that they just fold up and throw in. I mean, it almost covers everything on here. That's how huge it is. And it got a little bit of a rip, probably from getting poked by the spork. But I will not be using that spork because I have the 4nmre.com spork. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this all over here and open up the Spanish ration. To show you what's inside that. And sometimes you don't need to cut these open. You can just like grab it like that and peel it open. But sometimes you gotta have a little help. And there is a gray powder all over the place inside here, so I could feel a grittiness through the packaging. So I'm going to set the box on the bag. And on top is, this is hand sanitizer. That was on top of this instruction sheet, other info sheet that's just all powdery, so I'm dumping that in the Canadian ration bag. This is a vegetable soup packet. to wipe the powder off to get be able to read what's on here. This is toothpaste. In the breakfast Spanish rations, you get the toothbrush. But then in the other meals, you get a packet of the toothpaste. So you're basically using the one toothbrush for the whole day. Matches are just coated in this powder. And I will not be using the matches, obviously. I'm indoors. Oh, this is the culprit. The fuel tablet packet got busted. That is why it got that weird smell. So you can see on this can, there is a piece of the fuel tablet. So this fuel tablet is intact. It didn't get punctured, but it feels like it crumbled a little bit in there. But these are going to have to get a serious wipe down. So. This is a vitamin C powder. Some will just open the pouch, knock it back, and then take a drink. Or some will mix it with water. It doesn't have much of a flavor. I've had these before. So these packets are all coated in that powder. So there are usually 3 of these vitamin C powders in here. Oh, this one actually has 4. There are 4 of these vitamin C powders in here. This is a piece of gum, but is seriously coated. So all these are going to have to get wiped down. Before I bust open these. This is a fruit cocktail. And I've had the Spanish fruit cocktail pretty good. It's just like any other fruit cocktail. Now, this one is hard to read, but it is this is like a beef stew. Holy crap, this is messy. I'm going to have to wash the tray before I put anything on it. This is sardines and tomato sauce. I have had this before. So I thought this was, it said tuna in here, but this is, so I have to look at the ingredients. It's like it's a pate with the pimentos in it. So it's a meat pate, like a liver pate with pimentos in it. But so I will keep this here, but the sardines will go with, I thought this was tuna, so I'll have to change up what I'm going to do with the Canadian ration, but these sardines will go with the Canadian ration as the main one that was taken. And here are the water purification tablets. You get 2 of these in every Spanish ration. And 10 napkins, or if you need them to need to use them for another purpose. They basically feel like facial tissues or Kleenex. And this is the Esbit type stove where you fold part of these up and you fold part of them down, and then you put the fuelets in the middle to burn it, but obviously I won't be doing that. Here, these are going to go into a little Ziploc bag. I'm definitely going to have to well, I got a whole crap load of that stuff all throughout this box. This box is going to have to go in the trash. And I'll have to put the contents in another box. I have other Spanish ration boxes that I can use, so but I'm going to take all the Spanish things into the kitchen so I can clean them up, and then I'll be right back. So go ahead and chat a bit with each other, and hopefully by the time I come back, a few other people will show up and they'll wonder what the heck I'm doing. I'll clean all these up later. I won't do it now, but that will be tonight's project, is cleaning up all this mess from the busted fuel tablet. In fact, I'm just going to take my whole tray into the kitchen because I got to clean it up too. Okay, I am back. I got the sardines cleaned off. I got my tray and my cups and my spork cleaned off. Now I'm going, since I'm not going to heat up the sardines, they just to be eaten cold, I'm going to go ahead and turn my pot on so I can heat up the water for my 3-in-1 coffee. And I'll get my cold water to mix up the sports drink. In fact, what I might do when I review the Spanish ration, instead of using those vitamin C powders, I might save the other sports drink for that Spanish ration and drink it with that. So I'll get the coffee pot going to heat up the water for my coffee, and I'll be right back. I also grabbed the water for my sports drink, which I'll go ahead and mix up now. And this is orange flavored. Calls for 250 mils. Almost fills this up. I have not had the Canadian sports drink before. This is on my second Canadian ration. All my trash is going into the ration bag. So this is what the powder looks like. It has a bit of a peachy color, just barely. Might not show up on screen, but but it looks like your basic artificial orange drink. It does not have the color of Tang though. But it seems to be mixing it pretty well. It's not as orange as an American drink powder would be when mixed up, but it's pretty clear, so it's pretty well dissolved. So I'm going to set that back here. I'm going to go ahead and get the pears out of the box. This will most likely and pears. Yep. This is Baxter's. This is the company that does a lot of the fruits and the mains for the Canadian rations. And I will put them right here. Oh, that's a barely fit. So there are the pears. I'm going to open up the tortillas. I'm not finding a tear nut, so I'm going to cheat. They put an oxygen absorber on the tortillas. They're nice and pliable, although they do have a bit of a break here. That's okay. Now, I will not be using the hot sauce because there's just nothing here to put it on. But I will save it. And my coffee pot is done, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the coffee. This is what the 3-in-1 coffee looks like, the powder. Again, I apologize for the lighting in here. I have to make do with what I got. So I will be back with the hot water and we'll mix up the coffee. There is creamer and sugar already in here. That's what makes it 3-in-1. So for those that have to cut their sugar or who do not like creamer or cannot use it, if you get this ration, well, you either have to give it to someone else and trade it, or you just have to deal with it or just not use it. Now, since I have the tortillas here, I'm going to set the coffee back here. Since these tortillas have already kind of split, I'm just going to go ahead and break them. And I can make little peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with them. Again, this peanut butter was made in the U.S. for in the contract with the Canadian military. Stone Mountain, Georgia. That's where this peanut butter was packed. Oh, there's a little air bubble in there. I'm going to add the strawberry jam. Sorry, I haven't looked at the chat for a while. I've just been busy trying to get this done because this is, after all, my supper. I got one sandwich. There I have two sandwiches here. All I have left to open are the Snickers bar. We all know what those are. And everybody's familiar with them, but I'm going to go ahead and open the sardines. And these are sardines in tomato sauce. And this is from the Spanish ration. Oh, And my cat is probably, or maybe not. She hasn't got in here yet. So I'm just going to leave the sardines in the can. Going to open the Sisters bar. It has a little bit of bloom on it, but other than that, it's perfectly fine. I'll just put that there. I appear to be buffering, so I apologize for that. I'm going to refresh my computer, see if that helps, because I'm buffering. I don't know if you're seeing it. Okay, there we go. I see my sardines on my computer. That's okay, Kayla. I'll eat the fish for you. But I really would have preferred the macaroni and beef, but stupid customs had to screw with Foreign MRE's delivery. I am so annoyed at getting their filthy paws on our goods. So anyway, my cat is in here, so if you hear any meowing, that is Mila making her presence known. And I'll just put the Tic Tacs right there so that they're more in the picture. But I'm going to go ahead and have a bite of the... Well, maybe I should dump the sardines out because they're hard to get it out here. I'll just dump it out on another tray. The other can that I had of this was really good, but that was such a big meal when I reviewed that other Spanish lunch or dinner ration that I ended up saving the rest of it to eat the next day. Tastes just like the last one, but I think this one's a little fresher because the other one was like several months past its best by date, but that still wasn't too bad. But yeah, I don't mind having this for my dinner. I will take a bite of my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now that jam is really good. I like it. It's a good combination with the peanut butter. The peanut butter is a little sweet. I think this company uses a different recipe for the Canadian rations than they do for Americans, but it's good, smooth peanut butter. And having the tortillas for the bread works for that. If this ration, the Spanish ration, would have had tuna like I thought it was going to, then I would have gotten a packet of mayonnaise out of my fridge and made a tuna wrap. But this will do perfectly fine. The tortillas are, even though they did have that split, I didn't warm them. They still taste really good. Now I'm gonna take a bite of my sandwich so I can get the fish flavor out of my mouth. I'm going to taste the orange sports drink. I might have put a little too much water in it. I didn't measure. I just filled it up to where I normally would when I use my drinking jar. But it's a light orange flavor. It's not too sweet. It's not overpowering with the artificial flavor like the U.S. orange drink powders, but because it's I'll show the packet. This is a sports drink, so it will have electrolytes in it, so that will change the flavor a little bit. I'm going to pick up one of the Pears. Typical canned Pears with a lot of the juice, just very soft, but you still got that pear texture. It tastes like a Bartlett pear, but they're good pears. Now I'm going to take a drink of the 3-in-1 coffee. Again, it's Nescafe. Yep. That is a good instant coffee. I would definitely take those camping. I have Nescafe coffee sticks, but they're the coffee without the creamer and sugar. I would have to add it myself. I'm going to look at the chat again. Oh, yeah, they, Foreign Emery didn't only have Canadian rations rated. A bunch of other stuff got rated. Customs rated French rations. Took a lot of the stuff out. They rated a couple, just, they get their filthy paws on everything that's good. I'm so annoyed with that. Yeah, MD, it is right. You gotta have friends in certain places. Maybe someone have to start bribing customs into leaving the ration alone. The best part is what they're apple butter. Oh. Connections will help. Or just come. I opened. I can still see this was supposed to be macaroni and beef, but the main was stolen at customs. And so I opened up a Spanish rice, beef, sardine, supposed to be a single meal ration, but you could almost break that up into 2 meals if you had a couple other things with it. So I raided the sardine, clean up the tablets busted, and I could feel something grainy and powdery inside the package. So I've already ditched the Spanish ration bag, and I'm going to clean up the rest of the components later and put them in another Spanish ration box that I have, because I saved those other boxes. The one from that I just opened up today, no, that's going in the trash because I don't want that crap all over the place. But yes, I figured out this is what I can do to have a complete meal with the Canadian ration and still have enough food from the Spanish ration, because if I would have had opened up this with the Spanish ration, I'd probably end up saving something for another day. But anyway, this sardines, I was never really a fan of sardines as a kid because they're always just in the plain oil. But with this tomato sauce, it's good. I really like it. And they seem to do well with the processing because I am not finding any bones. So I've really done well with this. And the tomato sauce just, it doesn't just cover the fishiness so that I can still taste the flavor of the fish. It just adds extra flavor, and I like that. Now, I wish the Spanish lunch and dinner rations would have something other than those vitamin C powders for a drink, because you think the Spanish soldiers would get tired of that, maybe want a coffee. They get coffee in the breakfast rations, but they might want coffee or tea on a cold day, unless they're packing it from, they just stick one in their pocket. They have to deal with that vitamin C powder, and maybe have something else that they bring with them. So anyway, inside the tortillas is the peanut butter and jelly. So I made little sandwiches. The tortillas broke in half, or they split. So I just broke them and made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And the raspberry jam is really good. I like it. It's a good combination with this. The tartness goes well with the sweetness of the peanut butter. I've never had mustard sardines. I've never seen those. I don't know if they would be found in a ration, or I just have to go to a store and try to find it. Plants and food triggers for custom? No, that's weird. Maybe those guys were just hungry the day they decided to raid all the foreign MRE's deliveries and get the mains out. Maybe that's what they want to do. They want them for themselves. I'm just polishing off the sardines. But the sauce is good. I like the sauce. There's a little bit of oil in it. But not too much, so that's a good thing, because if there's just too much oil, then it's just annoying. Now this tray, by the way, it's a Tupperware tray that I have had for many years. I think I got it in high school when my senior class had a Tupperware party in order to raise money for some to set aside for our senior class trip. And we had a Tupperware party, and I bought one of these trays, and I have had it ever since. That was like back in 83 or 84 when I did this, so this has been around a long time. I didn't really use it a lot, but I had taken it to picnics where we had to bring our own tableware. And so I would take this tray, and it served me pretty well. And then when I got into ration reviews, that first one I got from Sticky Fingers 745 when I won it from him, I thought, you know what? Other ration reviewers use trays. I got one. I'm going to use it. That ding is just a notification on my phone. I didn't turn those noises off, so I do apologize for that. But I'm back to my other peanut butter and jelly tortilla sandwich. And then I have the Pears. I'm saving the Snickers bar for last because you know that's going to be good. What some people like to do is, there are some Canadian rations that have the same mains as U.S. ones. For instance, chicken and vegetables, or macaroni and beef, or jambalaya, or something like that. I've never had ration jambalaya, but because I don't eat pork, I would probably have to avoid that if it has pork in it. But some, you know, or the chicken and noodles. Some will compare those to see any difference between the U.S. version and the Canadian version. And it's also fun to see what other countries do as their take on popular American foods, like the chile con carne. I have not had a foreign chile con carne yet, but I do want to. That's basically it's chili with meat. So carne means meat. So some countries will have that as their main. And so it'd be interesting to try one of those. Oh, MD, if you get a chance, go to foreignmre.com and look at the inventory that they have. You know, there are other sites to get rations from, but I get most of mine from Foreign MRE. And since you're now in the U.S., you can get yours free shipping. Rather, when you were outside of the U.S., you would have had to pay a super high shipping cost to get it shipped to you. But yeah, you should check it out. Try one, and see what they have to offer. And they're always looking for new stuff. I'd love to get another Polish ration, but I don't know when that's going to come anytime soon. Early last year, I did one. That was the Polish Firefighters ration, the one in the blue pack. They come in a set of 3. breakfast is one color, lunch is another color, and then like red, yellow, and blue are the three colors for the firefighter rations. But I had the blue one, and I got that one off eBay from the seller, Rations and More. But I've only tried one other Polish ration, and I really liked it. It's kind of similar to Lithuanian, and I have a Lithuanian ration that I will review later on. I may sit on it for a while, because next I want to do the Spanish one that I opened up tonight to get the sardines out. Yeah, that's a shame, but maybe I'll have to go elsewhere. But one of these days I am going to get an Australian CR1M, because those have something in it that I have been wanting to try for a long time, and that's the military version of Vegemite. So I do want to try that. Yeah, that's right, MD. Go check out their site and see what they got to offer. Who knows? You might be surprised, and you can get. They sell this Spork. It's got their logo on it. It's a titanium Spork, and this mug that I have my coffee in. I don't want to tip it back too far because. I don't want to spill the coffee. But it has their logo on it as well. And you can get t-shirts. I have one of the t-shirts that I think I won the t-shirt, so I didn't have to pay for it. But they're very nice t-shirts, good for layering in the winter if it gets a little chilly, or maybe you just like the layer look and want a t-shirt over another shirt. So yeah, the t-shirts are really nice quality shirts. Oh yeah, it is a nice, very nice coffee cup. I normally hand wash it, but I did run it through the dishwasher, and it held up. No loss in color or anything. So they're a very good quality mug, and this Spork is awesome. I use it for every review, but this Canadian Spork is pretty cool. It's long, so if I wanted to go camping and I took one of my Mountain House or my Backpacker's Pantry pouches, this would be long enough to get in there and eat out of it without having to rip down the pouch after rehydrating the food. But yeah, I could use this, and I think this is stronger than the original, and the spoon that they had, the white long spoon. This seems to be stronger, like a USMRE spoon. So maybe the same company makes them, I don't know, but yeah, they're really nice. So this is a keeper. Yeah, I'm back to the Pears. Yeah, these Pears are just fine. Of course, this is a 2017. That is a year they started with the brown Spork and these little pop-up towels. And it has a maple leaf on it, so I don't know if you can see that. My phone does not like to focus very well, especially with other stuff in the background, but I will actually save this and put it into one of my kits, maybe like a camping hygiene kit or like an emergency travel kit or something like that. Very good for that. So yeah, that one's a keeper. Yeah, if you can, you get the Canadian IMP MD, you'll almost always get some kind of fruit, whether it's peaches or pears. I'm not sure what other fruits they use, but peaches and pears seem to be the most common. It might do apples as well. But if you get the macaroni and beef IP, that's individual meal stands for, you will get the pears. If you get the 2017 one that says macaroni and beef, but the fruit Spanish ration has pears in it also. For it's like any common fruit cocktail you can get here. Now on to the best part, the Snickers bar. Tastes like a Snickers bar should. And since it's a full-size one, not one of those little bitty things, that definitely would make a Canadian soldier happy to see that. It just tastes like an American Snickers. I didn't look at the wrapper to see where it came from, but I wouldn't be surprised if the company that packs these just goes to a wholesaler. I want so many thousand Snickers to put into the rations. They probably get them at a very good price to do that. Yeah, the Canadian IMPs used to have the gum that just looks like the American military, the MRE gum, but now they've gone to the Tic Tacs. Yeah, that's really good, especially for those who are not gum chewers. I'm not a gum chewer, but I save all those gums because, you know, one day I may have to chew some gum to hold me over till the next meal, or if I have to hoof it somewhere for a long distance, I can just chew on a piece of gum. But I will be busting these open. Actually, I'm going to cheat and use the scissors. So get 4 Tic Tacs. These are the fresh mint. And these would be very good to have after eating fish. Yep, good flavor. They're nowhere near as strong as the Altoids, but they taste kind of like a cross between peppermint and spearmint. Not sure what other mints they could use, but that's what they taste like. But dinner, other than my orange drink and coffee, which I'll be finished later, of course. So I'm not sure when the remainder of the Spanish ration, but after I kill this live stream, I'm going to go clean those items up and put them in a different box and save them for another day. You know, it's going to be fun getting all that powder off. But it was worth raiding that ration to get the sardines out so I could have a main with the Canadian ration. Yeah, I've heard that about the gum, but I would suspect that it doesn't have that effect unless you chew a whole crap ton of it. But I have no need to be doing that. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that Spanish fuel tablet that busted. I don't know if it got bumped around during a transit. That would be my suspicion. That the other 2 Spanish rations I reviewed, and the breakfast one I did not review. I basically bought it so I could put different things in different food kits and things like that. All those held up fine. They stayed intact. They did not bust. But the ones I opened tonight, oh wow, that was a hot mess. That was a hot mess. As far as rations, I don't know. I suppose it depends on what what your tastes are. There are a lot of things that I would love to try. I had one Singapore one, but it was like 2 mains and some dessert thing. It was not the complete ration. I would love to have a complete Singapore ration with all the components, but getting that would be tough and expensive. And I would love to try a CR1M. That's the Australian 24-hour ration. There's another one called the PR1M. See, the C is like, it's a combat ration 1 man. The PR1M is the patrol ration 1 man. And the patrol ration is kind of like the U.S. First Strike ration, where you don't heat anything up unless you just boil up some water for coffee or tea. Or it would have freeze-dried components where you just boil up water to rehydrate those. But there's been a couple of reviews of the PR1M on YouTube. The CR1M shows up more. But they're, I just want to keep trying different things. But, you know, when you live on a limited income like I do, I can't afford to go bonkers on ration buying. But, you know, basically getting 3 for the price of 2. This Canadian was the one that I did not pay for. Art and Nina just sent it to me. I would call it like a belated birthday present. I've been teasing him about that because my birthday was last month. So I was just teasing him about this being a belated birthday present. But I paid for the Spanish and the Lithuanian. This one right here, my phone just told me that it is low on juice, so I think I'm just going to have to kill this right now so I can plug it in. And then YouTube can start processing this. So since I'm basically done with dinner, I'm going to go ahead and shut the stream down, and after it processes, I'm going to put the link to Foreign MRE's website and their YouTube channel down there so you can go check it out. Yeah, you should go check out their YouTube channel, and they've been getting into reviews also. So, and I want to thank you all for watching, and catch you on the flip side.